Hey you guys, it's me Gemstone. I hope you guys are doing really well. I have it's been a while since I made a video because I've just been really tired. I'm 36 weeks pregnant today. And it's just like I'm just tired constantly. And then I'm dealing with this pelvic pain that I've been seeing a physiotherapist for, an osteopath, and they gave me a support to wear because I'm sitting down. I have two supports basically. I have one that I bought, and then I have one that the physio gave me. I wear both the majority of the time. I had to take off the second support because now that I'm trying to sit down like on this bed, it's uncomfortable with the second support on. Um, but this is something I haven't experienced before. Like I've been pregnant before, and I never had this pelvic pain and things that I've been dealing with, and I've been dealing with it for quite some time now. I think about 20 something weeks. I can't remember now, but about that time, that's when the pain started, and since then it like hasn't really let up at all, and it's probably not going to until like after I give birth and my body kind of starts to get back to itself and all that kind of stuff. Um, but otherwise, everything is going okay in my pregnancy, which is good. So, yeah, what I wanted to do is because of all the things I've been feeling and stuff like that, it's like there's videos I want to make, the stuff I want to do, and then it's like I don't end up doing them. But and so even this video is coming late. Like I wanted to do this at the time when the drama was like at its peak, when everything was taking place. That's why I wanted to do the video. But in some ways maybe like it was for the best, because then I saw like another reader's video on like the whole Nicki Minaj and Remy Ma situation, and oh my god, it's like a lot of people were laying into this reader because of what she was saying and stuff like that. Like people are very passionate about this whole rap battle beef that is taking place. And because a lot of people, I guess, like Nicki has her barbs that's kind of side with her, and then I think a lot of the sort of the true or the older kind of hip hop heads are like more into like Remy, and saying how Remy basically destroyed Nicki on the Shifa track and all this other stuff, which, to be entirely honest, I believe she did. And I have to say that the day that I had listened to it, I was like, oh my gosh, Nikki won't be able to sleep for the longest time, because I know if it was me and somebody went there with the stuff that like Remy said and stuff like that, I was like, oh my gosh, like this is serious. Like she really laid into Nikki. But I think and to be honest, I knew that Nikki wasn't gonna come back with anything that was gonna be half as like intense or as hard as what Remy was gonna come back with. And to be honest, she didn't. And in my opinion, I just felt like with the amount of time she took to even make a response, I just felt like to a certain extent maybe she shouldn't have even responded. um because it's like people are thinking, well, you had 2 weeks to come up with something, and then to come up with something that was kind of subpar didn't really do Nikki any favors. But then I don't think that this whole beef is like gonna affect her Nikki's career like hugely or anything like that. But I just think that I think she just confirms what a lot of people know, or even people that don't want to accept it um should know. That basically, Nikki is she's a commercial mainstream artist, and for the most part I personally feel that what she does is more pop than it is hip hop, and I don't think that's a bad thing. Like, I don't know why people act like it's a bad thing for an artist that I guess portrays himself as being hip hop, when in fact really their music is pop, and just to call it pop. Because obviously she has a certain following of people, and I think her following is mainly like the younger crowd, even though obviously she has like older like crowd supporters as well. But I think that her thing is more like the younger ones. And so, and especially that's what is kind of in right now. Even though pop always to a certain extent is always kind of in, but I think when you look at kind of the music industry in its current time, That's kind of what hip hop is more leaning towards. I mean, more mainstream hip hop is a little bit more leaning towards that kind of pop kind of edge to it. Not to say all of them are doing that, but like all hip hop artists are doing that. But I'm just, that's kind of, the flavor of things. And so I kind of think that Nicki is just kind of doing, what is basically helping her to be where she is and to be as famous as she is and to, sell records and stuff like that. And I think Remy Ma, in that sense, is a different kind of artist because I think obviously she's not as mainstream as Nicki is. And I think she is more the type of artist to stay true to where she started and to stay true to rap and hip hop and that whole culture, whereas I don't see Nicki in that way. Um so yeah, I definitely have to say that the whole thing has been very entertaining to watch and to listen to and to kind of see things unravel. It's also been really interesting reading people's comments about the whole situation. Like some people was like, oh, that's the only way Remy Ma could really get attention for her, like herself and her work is to be able to is her coming for Nicki and all this other stuff. But to be honest, I don't look at it as her coming for Nicki per se. I look at it more as it's entertainment, and that's a part of the hip hop and rap kind of culture, is to battle and to rap and to say which one is better and who is the better lyricist and all this other stuff. Like that's just always been a part of the fabric of what hip hop is. And so to me it's like, to have them doing this, like some people were saying, oh, black women are always tearing each other down, and why do these artists have to tear each other down and it's like, to be honest, I don't look at it as necessarily tearing each other down. Again, I just think it's a part of the whole hip hop industry, and it's a and not only industry but just the way it's been. And so and again, I think that more than anything, they're artists. And obviously, any kind of publicity they can get is good publicity for the both of them. So, this whole thing, as well as it could have happened out of, some kind of underlying issue between the two of them, it also is happening because of the entertainment value, and also because of the fact that, it gets people listening, it gets people talking. And, when you drop music and stuff around the time of when you're going through like drama and things like that, people are more likely to buy what you put out there. And so, before it's beef, and before the whole music thing, it also is a business. And so in that sense, I don't think people should take it like super duper seriously. um but that's just my opinion. So what I'm going to do is I want to kind of see what the aftermath is going to be now that it's like the drama's kind of calmed down. I don't believe that Remy Ma is going to respond to no frauds, in all honesty. And I don't really think she needs to. I think it's best to kind of leave it as is, because clearly she won the battle. And to be honest, I think most people, like I said, that would admit to it would know that, Remy Ma is, when it comes to rap, she's dead serious about what she does. And she don't play any games. So you know but I would like to see basically what, like, what can come out of this for her, basically. um and just go from there. So let's see what cards show up for Remy first. Okay. So Remy's first card is the Hanged Man. Now the Hanged Man is always like, and this deck is a new deck actually that I bought, which is the Morgan Grey Tarot. It's been out for the longest, but I just got it recently over Christmas. So the Hanged Man is like when everything is kind of tipped on its head. It's like everything is kind of in limbo, or like hanging around, in terms of not moving forward at this time, or just reflecting on things, or reflecting on different things that have taken place. Sometimes the hangman can represent, looking at things from a different perspective, in terms of maybe looking at things in a different light or in a different way. Maybe to a certain extent, she looks at the whole this whole beef in a different way than maybe when it started. Like maybe she might be thinking in terms of maybe whatever goal she set to achieve through making Shifa and all this other stuff, she might be actually thinking in a different way. Like maybe, for instance, she had a certain business goal, business plan in mind by saying, okay, I'm going to drop this record in response to apparently some things that were said about her that Nicki had said previously and all this other stuff. And so maybe in her responding in that way, maybe it was a revenge thing. Maybe it was just a case of speaking her mind or feeling like she's kind of putting Nicki in her place, or maybe it was just a case of uh of or not even proving herself, because I definitely don't feel that Remy Ma has to prove herself in terms of what she can do. But I think it was a way of showcasing what she can do to a greater audience, a greater amount of people. And so I think that almost whatever has come out of the situation was probably some things that she didn't exactly or necessarily expect, and maybe because of that reason she's kind of looking at things in a different way, or creating a different plan for herself. The seven of wands is when you're trying to defend yourself against others, against people that are around you, or maybe even against naysayers or people that might question you. Or and he's kind of looking over to the hangman, so maybe to a certain extent, even though she's had people side with her and say yes, she won the battle, maybe she is also having to do with some negativity as well from other people, and that's where she's having to defend herself against other people. But I think at the same time, I think that Remy is definitely a fighter, and she's definitely the kind of person that is prepared to stick up for herself and stand up for herself if she's kind of backed into a corner. I think and to be honest, the hangman could even be showing that in the past maybe there was things that went on between her and Nicki that she wasn't responding to for quite some time, or she wasn't really like coming forward about. And then it's like now she is defending herself, now she is wanting to sort of strike back and stuff like that, and not just be kind of docile and just like not handle certain things or not bother herself um to step more forward. And then she gets another seven, which is the seven of pentacles, and the seven of pentacles is also is represents an investment, something that pays off over time. So it's almost like in her defending herself or her coming out with this record and stuff, is it has a benefit to it, like there is going to be some kind of profits and gains that come through over a period of time. Now the only thing is that which is good and can be bad about this card. This card doesn't represent instant money, but it represents money being stacked up over a period of time. So it's like it gathers, almost like whatever you invest is what you kind of get back with that card. So then it's kind of saying in her case that's probably what she's going to see, which is a good thing, because for business that's going to be a good card for her in the long run. So but then because she has two sevens together, it's like seven doesn't bring about things fast though. It kind of brings about things kind of slower, and it's almost like sometimes there's lessons to be learned, things that you have to learn in the process when seven is coming up. And it also is a number that represents introspection, so there might be a lot of things, and especially with the hangman showing up too, there might be a lot of things that she's thinking about, a lot of things that she's mulling over within herself, maybe even questioning herself to a certain extent, or questioning certain decisions that she's made in terms of maybe her business, her career, all of those kind of things. But with seven, it's also good in terms of learning, studying, and kind of learning from experiences that she's going through at this time as well. So and she's going to be learning a lot of things, because if you think about it, since she's kind of been out of prison and everything like that, this has been a really major thing that is kind of happening in her career, like currently. And especially, like, you know, she didn't have the opportunity to really go through the whole social media development and stuff like that, because by the time she came out, you know, basically when she went to jail, you know, social media and stuff wasn't like it was now. Like obviously there was an aspect of it, but it wasn't as big and as huge as it is now in terms of, like, you know, the internet and all these different social media sites and all this other stuff, and also using it for business purposes and all that kind of stuff. So obviously there's so much stuff that she is not only learning but also within the industry that she's having to develop herself in kind of be more in tune with how like artistry is now. And so in that respects, I feel like this whole thing is actually going to turn out to be good for her also. um I'll pick some cards for Nicki. I'm not so concerned with Nicki in that respect, because I feel like the level of success that Nicki Minaj has, I don't really imagine that she's gonna go through any kind of struggles with this situation per se. But let's just see what shows up in terms of her cards, and I'm just gonna be unbiased and just see what the cards have to say for Nicki, right? Nikki's first card is the Six of Wands. So for her, it's like there's still success anyways. Success is gonna be obviously through probably the sales she's gonna receive, or a bit more exposure and everything, because like I said, any kind of publicity can actually be good publicity for you. And so obviously she's going to use this whole thing to her advantage, and promote a whole bunch of stuff, bring out a whole bunch of music, all this other stuff like she's already been doing. And so it's just a case of capitalizing on the situation, and what's and people talking basically. And the Ace of Swords can represent communications, and again it can represent online communications, all that kind of stuff. So obviously she receives, she's buzzing at this time, and if she was setting out for, which obviously I'm sure she was, any kind of triumph, any kind of victory in terms of her media presence, social presence, all that kind of stuff, obviously this is very helpful for her. It even can represent new avenues, because not only does she have the Page of Swords, she has the Ace of Pentacles as well. So actually there's new avenues that are opening up for her that weren't probably available before this drama and everything else. So actually some new opportunities is going to present itself for her as well, that's going to be very successful. And I feel like it's probably got to do or connected with the internet and social media too. So either way she's benefiting as well. So that's why I tell people, don't take all this stuff so seriously. Like, and people want to go as far as being like, oh, people shouldn't tear down each other and blah, blah, blah. Because basically, it's all fun and games really, because it's like that's that's how they're making their money. Like, that's a part of their job. And being a celebrity is to get people talking and to get people interested in what you're doing. So yes, I don't want this video to get too long because it's already 18 minutes. So peace and many blessings to all of you guys. I will see you. Bye.